Hey, Gebox here. So, with MUT servers down, what a better time to talk about investments and going through what to look in investments. Obviously, all investments are inherently risky. You'll win some, you'll lose some. Don't, risk more than you can afford to lose, or do be a dumbass and do that because life's worth living and it's all just pretend anyways, in MUT at least. Life, it's still 50-50 of the simulation. Either it is or it isn't. So, let's talk about what to look for in investments in MUT. But first, a word from our sponsor. Rock Bottom Coins is the #1 place to get your Madden 21 coins. If you make coins for my videos, sell them to Rock Bottom. If you're buying, use my code GUTBOX for 15% off. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be disappointed I didn't screw that, but my first take of this video, I screwed that up for about a minute. So, I cut it, okay? I didn't want to show it today. The shenanigans already happened. You're not seeing it. But let's talk about investments, okay? Because I'm a professional. They're risky. We talked about that. Basically, what you want to look for investments in this game. Let's talk a little bit more about. Let's talk about the macro part. Investments. MUT is not the stock market, right? Stonks always go up because they just print money when they're going down. In MUT, stonks go down over time. All right. Cards over the course of the year will devalue. It's nothing like FIFA if you're coming from that community. Cards go down because new cards are printed. So it's always a falling market. There are exceptions, and we got to place ourselves into the exception spots in order to make coins off it, all right? So a lot of people, and why a lot of people don't do investments in this game is because they are risky, and you will lose. 100% you will lose on investments this year. Just get it into your mind, okay? Now, you can either be like one of those people that, because people, I've seen this studied, people take losses at 4 times the amount of wins, right? Losses affect them 4 times as much as a win would affect them emotionally. So people get a loss like, all right, I'm off investing, okay? But the thing is, this investing in MUT, it's a lot like angel investing in the real world, right? We can get a few losses, but the few wins will make up for it. At least that's the plan, right? So like MUT, you're not gonna lose every time. You're gonna win probably 75% of the time, but you will take a quarter loss. But with that said, you can still make coins. And that's what we're going to set ourselves up with. So, what to look for in investment? They're finally getting here just to try to get your mentality right, first of all. Okay, basically high-value cards that have good stats, big names, right? Let me drag this a little closer in my notes so that way I don't have to constantly look over there. All right, so we want to look for the common winners. Now, you might make coins on other, say, non-common winners that get like crazy stuff. And so this isn't going to cover every single one that's going to win this year. Obviously, there's extenuating circumstances and the very special things that are hard to like call out and call as a trend. But we're more trendy here. All right. Just be aware that you could lose, even on trendy picks, even on good ones, if everybody has the same idea as you, or EA decides to put out their power-ups or cards as some sort of a set, right? So that way it gets flooded. We've seen that with Superstar MVP sets giving out their power-ups, which basically wreck the market. Now, it's not a bad idea to grab some of those when they are being flooded for some potential investment later, like Lamar Jackson's power-up, right? Let's look at Lamar first. So this power-up, Lamar Jackson, 74 going for 5K. Now, his card right now is the best quarterback in MUT at 5K. Okay. Now, when I look at that, I'm like, the best quarterback in MUT, right? Only rivaled by Michael Vick, and he's like the right-handed Michael Vick, right? The most powerful quarterbacks in Madden history. 5K is not a bad price for the best quarterback that's going to be in Madden this year. Okay? Lamar Jackson's 90 overall once you power it up. Great accuracy, great speed, top of the meta. Like, perfect. 87 throw power, sure, it could be better. Michael Vick will be better, but Michael Vick will be left-handed. So, like, Lamar Jackson, when he gets an upgrade, because they're going to upgrade him 3 times this year, it looks like. They gave us our, the launch card or whatever, and then they gave us the first upgrade week 1. Generally, when we see those kind of players, we think that one, we're going to get 3 this year. Lamar, Bo, both probably getting 3 cards. We'll probably get a card around winter or Thanksgiving, somewhere in that area, and then again for like Ultimate Legends or later on in the season. So I like to get more cards out of them. Whereas cards that maybe drop in like a month or 2, we'll probably get 2 cards this season. So Lamar Jackson, 5K now, of course you're going to have to wait for 3 or 4 months till he gets his next upgrade. Now, potentially you can sell off before that because the hype is generally unreal with these cards as it builds into the next one, right? And it's generally a good idea to sell on hype versus the actual card drop because everybody's going to sell that day. Just an FYI for you guys if you're investing. The hype of the card coming out is oftentimes the high point, unless the card comes out with some sort of special conditions, like it's super easy to get, right? If the card is just like, it's 30K to get, then the power-up's going to go in price because people are going to buy a crap load of power-ups because the card itself was cheap to get, if that makes sense. So there are little exceptions to that, but generally sell on hype is the good idea. So Lamar Jackson, when he gets upgraded, and the thing is, like 3 or 4 months from now, if you're moving on to like the new COD, if you're not playing Madden in 3 or 4 months, maybe not a great video for you either. Because this is more like all of us guys that are in here for the long haul, you can make millions off these cards. So, Lamar Jackson, I like his power up because he's the most powerful quarterback in the game, and will continue to be most of the year. And he will continue to get cards most of the year. So, that's it, right? Another good cards to invest in are like hard to do sets, like we've seen with Team Diamonds in the past. Team Diamonds this year that are handing out. Let's look at let's go to Team Diamonds, right? Let's just scroll down here. These ones are sending out like Dante Hall. Okay, say Dante Hall gets upgraded in 3 months' time, and he gets the first one with human joystick, right? You got to get 95 overall. With a 95 agility, I believe, on a returner chemistry to get human joystick. This power up, 21K. That's a little pricey. Okay, I'm not going to invest a lot into them, and it's a good idea to diversify too, because that whole like you could lose a quarter of the time, so it's better to have 4 cards than 1, just because you're gonna make coins off that point. So maybe a little expensive, but it is kind of hard to get his power up, right? They're not coming out of the packs; they're just coming out of the Team Diamond sets. So like these kind of cards, unless they're given out later by EA, which could happen and could screw you over, not a bad idea to invest in some of these well-wanted cards. Bob Sanders, if he gets a card, right? Look at his power up. He's 16.9 or 17.3 on PS4, which I'm currently on. So like Bob Sanders, maybe not a bad idea. Maybe wait till the market deflates before you pick up some of these. Adrian Wilson, 6'3", dude. 6'3" safetyers are always wanted. He's 21, 29. Maybe a little rich. And they won't get upgraded for months, so it might be worth it to wait. And there's always a potential that EA can go ahead and just like throw guys back into packs and throw the power-ups into packs too. But like generally what we're looking for are cards that are top of the meta and or big names, right? 2 of those things. So like Mark Clayton right now is the best receiver in the game in my opinion, him and Tyreek Hill. His power-up's way too expensive to invest in. Yeah, that's definitely not investable territory. Who else is the top of the meta kind of card? It's kind of what I'm looking at right there. Barry Sanders doesn't have a power-up. Finley's okay. Warwick Dunn, if he gets a card's okay. So Team Diamonds, like these cards, when these guys get upgrades, most likely will go up, but nothing's like insane at the moment for investing because they're like 20K or 100K or something. So that's just one framework that we look under. Rare cards, big names, big stats. Those are kind of like the 3 different frameworks. So, moving on. All right, let's go to actual examples of cards that I would say invest in because these are traditional MUT great cards, okay? So, mobile quarterbacks, like I talked about with Lamar Jackson. Other quarterbacks, let's just go to position quarterback and filter through. All right, Mahomes. Mahomes is a huge name in this game. He is an improviser just like Mr. Lamar Jackson, which is weirdly not a scrambler, but his power-up right now, 5K. If Mahomes gets a new card, everybody loves Mahomes, right? He'll be one of the best throw power guys in the game. If he gets up to 81 or 82 speed, I think 81 and the power gets him up to 82. He'll have Scrambler. Although his skateboard isn't nearly as necessary this year. Mahomes, I think this card will definitely go up in price. Not a bad investment there. I like players like, we talked about Lamar. Keep scrolling down. Brady's okay. He's a big name, but he's a pocket passer. I think Aaron Rodgers is a great one. Kyler Murray is a great one too. Is Kyler Murray? Yeah, he doesn't have a power up though, so you can't really invest in that. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers. And like the superstars coming on Thursday, just remember they didn't get power ups last year. Or they didn't go into power ups last year, so that's not the greatest one to invest for. Maybe a good day to invest in these things on, if I were to say anything. But that's kind of what I do for quarterbacks. The scrambling archetypes, we'll see down the road if we get more legends like Steve Young, Cunningham, Vic, those kind of power-ups, that kind of stuff for investing in. Halfbacks, definitely top of the meta stuff. Bo Jackson, if we're looking at his card, his power, also limited legends are good investments at some points because they generally go up once they're out of packs. Cards that are out of packs go up in price is a general rule. Bo Jackson power-up, not a bad idea. The problem is it's not going to pay off for 3 to 4 months, just like Lamar. So you're sitting holding a lot of coins that you can be using for other purposes. But like this is just like static income. If you don't need it, you can kind of invest it away into Bo Jackson's and expect him to go up down the road. So Bo Jackson's there too. Who else? Top of the meta kind of cards would be, I'm looking for speedbacks. I think Chubb is okay. Where is he at? Why don't I see? He's low overall. Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is a great investment. I love Saquon Barkley. Everybody loves Saquon Barkley. He is 11K though. So his power-up's going for a little bit. So people are kind of speculating maybe Saquon gets a card on Thursday. That's why it's generally not the greatest idea to invest in days before a promo. Just FYI. All right, wide receiver cards. Zeke would be an okay investment there. CMC, Alvin Kamara. I had them written down last year. They don't have the greatest stats, sadly. For wide receivers, you want speed or height guys. Speed height guys are the best, right? The Megatron, Moss archetypes, speed and height. So Tyreek Hill. The thing is, he's not great for investing because his power up, he's still like one of the best cards in the game. 132,000 coins for just his power up. So not a great investment right there because it's too high as is. So other speed height guys, I talked about Hall being okay for that. Next up, not Jerry. We talked about Clayton. Tyler Lockett just got a card. Mike Evans is tall, but not like the fastest. But I'm thinking guys like maybe if Jefferson or Judy get upgrades with speed. Odell Beckham's a huge name. Odell Beckham, I wouldn't mind getting a power price, but 23K for it. A lot of people are speculating right now. Definitely wait till Thursday to invest. Odell Beckham's a big name. Who else did I put down as big names? Tyreek, Julio, but we already just got a Julio. And then there's a lot of guys that don't have power-ups, like Cole, John Ross, Marquise Brown, Perriman, McLaurin, Metcalf, Chark. I don't believe any of those have power-ups this year. I'm going based off what I wrote last year because I basically wrote down the guide last year. I just want to kind of apply it to this year's game. I don't believe any of those got... Cooks is not as fast anymore, sadly. Those kind of... Like, the rest of these names, they're good, but... they're just not exciting. So, like, I'm skipping over a lot of names, and there's only so many guys that you really want to invest in. O-linemen, you can invest in guys that are, like, due for upgrades, but I generally avoid offensive linemen because offensive linemen don't really matter. Their power-ups don't really matter, and people aren't excited to add offensive linemen to the squad. So, while they can work, guys like, Q would be a solid investment because, people love Quentin Nelson. Right tackles, maybe. The Ramcheck types, but we'll see. Lane Johnson. DLine. All right. DLine is well loved, though. There's some huge names on the DLine. Good investment type, big names, or good stats, right? The best ones are obviously the ones we all know of. Why am I missing? What am I missing? Where's Aaron Donald? Oh, I should just do all... Okay. All right, let me just look up Donald. I was looking at defensive tackles. They got him at right end this year. All right, power up 34K. Aaron Donald, well beloved card. Like if Aaron Donald gets a new card, I can see this going out to 150. Right? Because Aaron Donald even right now is tearing my ass up, even with edge protectors. So Aaron Donald, phenomenal card. Like his core least expensive, but he gets an upgrade. This power up's going up a dramatic amount too. Because we have a power up pass for his 88 also. One of the better guys to power up pass. So Aaron Donald, a good card. J.J. Watt is generally a decent card to invest in because he's got a big name. Sadly, his stats never perform. And a lot of the sets that have awarded him over the years have basically given out his power up too. So J.J. Watt, because he's such a big name, definitely think he's worth investing at least a little bit into for that name. Otherwise, Myles Garrett just got a card. But the set gave out his power up, I believe, so he didn't really go up much. So Myles Garrett is what it is. Maybe down the road, but people do love their Myles Garretts for some reason. Maybe they got their head bashed in and they don't have brain cells. Watt, Donald, what other big defensive line names would there be in this game that people are just like, oh my god, he's a superstar? I'm really kind of looking through it. Bosa, Nick Bosa cards. I can see a Nick Bosa card coming out that people like, but it's got such low block shed. He's up 23%. Yeah, Nick Bosa card. Joey Bosa, I can see both of those because they're big names going up in price with their power-ups. Joey's for 6.8K. Yeah, I could definitely see that, tripling at least when he gets a new card. So, yeah, Bosa would be solid. A lot of these cards are going to go up. Like, some of them more than others. And I want to go for the ones that are more than others. But if you just buy a bunch of them and sell the night that they're announced, it's not a bad idea either for a lot of these cards. But anyways, moving on to Linebackers. Linebackers, you want speed and height guys, right? The guys that are going to pick the ball off, or pass rushers even, like the Lawrence Taylor archetypes. The ones, like Khalil Mack is a phenomenal investment in my opinion. He's at 14K. People love Khalil Mack. When he comes out, that can easily go up to 150, depending on if the set gives him out or not. If he is a set card, just a regular card, that could easily boost anyways. Von Miller, very similar. 32K is kind of broaching the, I don't know, spot of upgrades of investing, because you never know. But those two are big names. Who else do I got here? Clowney, he doesn't have a card in the game yet. Anthony Barr. People love them some Barr. Yeah, he doesn't have a power up though this year, so he's not a good investment. Who else is tall? Let's sort by advanced. Has power up. Yes, and then sort by height. Rating. Height. All right. Preston. Oh, Edmonds. Edmonds is great. Oh, this is a great power up to invest in if you can. Tremaine Edmonds, if he gets a top of the meta card, if he gets upgraded, like right now, say he gets a 90 overall, this card goes from 2K instantly to like, I want, like, depending on how good it is, but like, if he gets a top of the meta card, if he gets a 90 overall, easy over 100K. Easy. I don't think they'll give one to him unless he has a phenomenal start. So that's a risk, but even if he just gets a regular upgrade, this card could easily jump up to 20K. So Tremaine Edmonds, I think, is another solid investment choice. Obviously, these recommendations are all my own, and think for yourself. I'd love to hear people in the comments say, no, that's a bad investment for blank reasons. So that way I could just be like, yep, great idea. Don't invest it. Don't do it. TJ Watt. There's a guy last year that bought like 200 TJ Watts at the end of the game cycle. Never a good idea. But buying TJ Watt right now is a fine idea. End of the game cycle, I don't like investing nearly as much as the beginning of the game cycle. We talked about Miller. Yeah, I'm fine with that. All these guys are 6'3". Basically pass rushes at this point, less users. Jalen, I mean, he's a cowboy. He has kind of an upgrade. Oh, yeah, and he's way too expensive. No, definitely not Jalen. All right, let's go to CBs and safeties. I think I have CBs separate from safeties. All right, CBs, you want a height, but you want speed more than that. Guys that have speed at cornerback are the #1 guys to go for, and big names, obviously. Jalen Ramsey, huge name, love it. Let's see what his power's going for. I know a lot of people are like, oh, is Jalen Ramsey going to be the master? Because that one Mutt Insider account leaked it, 26K. So he's up 10% today. There's some people feeling that he might be the master because of the CB master. Maybe it's Gilmore. Maybe it's a few others. We don't know. But basically, you could sort by speed. Rod Woodson, we just got a card of... These are sorted by height. Let's sort by speed. Speed with power up. Who do we love? Tre'Davious White. He just got an upgrade. Good. Jalen, where's... Oh, does Ward not have a... What? Ward doesn't have a power-up? Is he a 70? Denzel Ward. He has a power-up. Wait, why didn't Denzel Ward show up? Yeah, Denzel Ward is a very good power-up to invest in my opinion. Because his base card itself is 88 speed at 81. So if he gets a 90, he's easily top of the meta speed, probably 92. Maybe 91 speed. I love Denzel Ward as a power as an option for 12K. A lot of people feel that he's probably going for a lot right now because people are using their power up pass on him. Sorry, this is getting to almost 20 minutes. But basically, look through guys with fast speed. Here are some of the names. If Deion Sanders comes out, Lattimore's a good one. Night Train Lane if he comes out. Patrick Peterson, Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay. Any sort of legend that with good speed are good ones. And then safety. We're gonna go through. I'm just gonna say Sean Taylor, Ronnie Lott. This is from last year. Ed Reed are huge names. Troy P if he comes out. Okay, for current players, Derwin James, Jamal Adams, Amos is pretty fast. I don't know about him, but like basically fast speed safeties too, like Amos, like I said. Justin Reed is a solid card too. I really like this Justin Reed card. He's not a great hitter, but we talked about Adrian Wilson being solid because of that. Team Diamond with hard hitters fast. Derwin James, great one. So there you go. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching Call to Action. See you tomorrow.